All right, students, today what we're going to do is we are going to review the steps to model drawing. And then we're going to actually go and do some math and use those steps. So we always start off by reading the entire problem because mathematicians are also readers, aren't they? And then we underline the question. After that, we're going to take that question and we're going to rewrite it into a sentence. And we're going to leave a blank for our answer. That gets us nice and focused on what am I looking for? What question am I answering? Then we're going to go back to the problem and think about who or what is this problem about? Is there a character in the problem? What's going on? Okay, so that'll be our next step. For step number 4, we're going to actually draw our model, do our bar model. And then of course it's math, so we're going to actually do the math, solve the problem. And then our last step is to write the answer in that sentence you created. And also, what great mathematicians always do, we're going to make sure that our answer makes sense. Today we are going to use our model drawing steps to solve this problem. So we're going to start with step 1. A total of 438 people were at a concert. There were 213 children and the rest were adults. How many adults were at the concert? Go ahead and take your pencil and underline the question. Question mark is our big clue. How many adults were at the concert? So when we're done, we're going to know how many adults. So I'm going to change this into a sentence. Any ideas of how I could change that into a sentence? That question right there? What do you think? What do you think? Works for me. Could you have had something different? Like there were blank adults at the concert? Sure. Sometimes there's different ways to write the sentence. But I'm going to go with my friend's answer over here. So I'm going to write down here. I'm going to give myself some space to work. And I'm going to write blank adults were at the concert. And of course I'm going to put my punctuation because I know that it's a sentence. So when I'm done, I'm going to know how many adults. I've got my label right here all ready for me. All right, we're ready to move on? We've read the problem, we've underlined the question, we've restated down here, turned it into a statement or a sentence, and now we're going to think about what is this problem really about? What would you say this problem is about? Who or what is in this problem? I like the way he sort of turned that problem and put it in his own words. That's a great mathematician thing to do, all right? So yes, this is about people at a concert. We know that some of them were children and some of them were adults, but we feel like we might be missing a number. We're not sure how many adults, right? That's what we're trying to find out. Okay, so I'm gonna label my bar, people at the concert. Okay, so that's gonna be the title of my model. People at concert. And then I'm going to draw my line. My bar is going to represent the people that were at the concert. So I'm going to draw my bar. It's a lot easier when you have lined paper. You can do your bar a lot neater. And sometimes when kids are first starting this, they use graph paper too to help them. So, do I know the total of people, the total number of people at the concert? Well, let's go back through our problem. A total, there's the word total. A total of 438 people were at a concert. Where do I put the total if I know it? Do you remember? Yes. At the end. It's not like the last problem where we had a question mark. Now we actually know that this bar is 438 people at the concert. So we actually knew the total of the people. So let's see what else we know. There were 213 children and the rest were adults. So we know that 213 of these people were children, right? Children. So I'm just gonna use a C to label that part of my bar. 213 children out of the 438. Do I know how many adults there were? That's the part I'm trying to find out. When we're trying to find out something, it's missing, we need to put a question mark. We don't know how many adults. I'm gonna put an A for adults. Let me ask you this. When we know the whole and we know one of the parts but we don't know the other part, what type of math does that tell our brain to do? What are you thinking? Subtraction, very nice. So are we gonna take 213 minus 438? That doesn't make any sense. We wanna take the total number of people, subtract the number of children, and guess what? We will get the number of adults. So go ahead and work that problem and check me so I don't make any mistakes. Did you get 225? Okay. I checked over my work, so I feel like I got it right. Now we ask ourselves, does that really make sense? Well, if 438 people is the total, and I take out about 200 of them, there's about 200 some left. So would 225 make sense? If I would have gotten like 63, would that have made sense? No. 63 and 213 is not close to 438. So I'm gonna come down here for my final step, and I'm gonna make sure that I copy my answer correctly into that blank. And that's how we model subtraction with model drawing.